So just here highlighting the importance of technology, generally, so we don't go through slides. But coming also, the technology is important for our operation management for a reason, break-even analysis. That we can use technology by operation managers to indicate the break-even of different products. Okay, let me explain what's break-even. This is not important. Break-even is where you say, I mentioned something like this earlier. Marketing department told me that we have a big order, I'm not running my machines, Things have been bad. There's a recession in the market. And so things are quiet, and my employees, are smoking and drinking coffee and reading newspapers. But then I have this order, for 10,000 bottles of water. Yeah, I'm in the business of goods. And I said, oh, we got it. Let's go and do it, guys. So we go and order the material which is needed for the water, or maybe it's in the store. We bring it from the store, start feeding it to the production line, and then get these people, guys, go and start doing some work for a change, and we start to produce. Then we got this 10,000 bottle of water, packaged and labeled and prepared, and then we deliver them to the customer. Did we do right or wrong? We don't know. Because a decision was made to produce without making the good calculation whether this production of the 10,000 bottles of water is leading to profit or loss. So don't be misled by saying 10,000 bottles. The break-even, when we say break-even, this is the quantity at which profit is zero. Break-even point, but sometimes we refer to time and quantity. At that point where profit is zero. So if let us concentrate at quantity now, because the context we're talking about. So we say at quantity, if we say, for example, if I ask to produce 500, I'll do break-even analysis, say, no, 500 I will be losing. Based on different inputs, Cost of the raw material,
expenses,
the cost of the raw material, the expenses of the labor, fixed cost, variable cost, and the price. Yeah. Right. So I said, no, 500 is not worth it. Yeah, wait, sorry, cannot be done. Because it would be stupid to go and produce at loss. So you need to know as an operation manager what is the break even? At what point, or at what quantity you are zero loss or profit. So beyond that, you start making money.
So who's supposed to do that?
Operation manager.
Financial analyst.
Who?
Financial analyst.
No, it's not finance, it's operation.
Sorry, the operation manager, you don't do the P&L. Yeah, the finance bit. You just say the operation manager will be informed.
I'm not talking about return on investment. I'm talking about decisions at operation level.
No, but you just said the operation manager will be informed. So they will tell him your budget is, for example, 1, 2, 3. Then he is, as an operation manager, will make the target.
Yeah.
Okay, the budget is for break even 100 bottles. So he will go to his people in the operation. You guys, you have to sell 200 bottles as our target.
Yes.
Then he can here play with the profit.
It's all done in interaction with all working together.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it is most of these are jointly decided, and this is, by the way, but this is an operational decision. What I'm saying that the operation department is something which will receive information from all parties, and then they will make the decisions with regard to production or not production. But the strategic decisions will be handled by management, maybe jointly by different representatives from all groups.
Sure.
Budget is a different story. Yes, it is related, but what the specific here is, it's not about budget. What's budget to do with it? It's talking about a decision whether to produce or not to produce on a shift or 2 shifts or within a few days.
The loss, you know that you did not identify the
Right?
loss. You won't be able to identify the loss.
ERP systems do this, he will not do it anyways. The system will do it. We told you that these calculations, which will show you here, only to show you the concepts. But who will be doing this? The ERP system or the supply chain management system will be there with different reports and functions, taking information from finance, taking information from marketing, taking information from even costs might be coming from general services,
Yeah.
from human resources for the people working.
Right.
So it's coming from different sources. The exercise which we do here is a theoretical, it's a theoretical exercise, but it can help you to understand what's involved. Okay? But in reality, there's a function called break-even function in the information systems. You will click on this, and it will ask you to enter certain things. Yeah? How many resources you use? I have an electrician, 2 mechanics, and one. For how long? Then what material you are entering? How much is the unit cost of this material? All these details have to be entered. Then click, it will give you a result saying that the break-even quantity is 2,000 units, for example. But it is information system. Let's agree on this. Coming from different areas, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Technology strategy. One way to define technology strategy is by seeing it as link between products and services. So again, just building on this. We have a technology strategy. We talked about organization strategy or corporate strategy. We talked about system business strategy. We talked about operation strategy. There's another strategy called technology strategy
Alliance system.
or information system strategy. This is where your IT department will be investing in different information systems, applications, and tools, yeah, to help different people within the organization to do their work, right? It could be an ERP system, could be a CRM system, a supply chain management system, a document management system, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Project, all these different software. Not only software, also hardware. Laptops, hardware, network. So all these different things. When invested, who decides how to invest in these? Which of these different information systems and technologies available in the market, which ones do we invest in? Your IT division will do this, but they will do it in consultation with the different business divisions or functions. So they understand the requirement of this group and the requirement of this group, the requirement of this group. And they might end up saying, okay, we need an ERP system. ERP system will connect all these people together, integrate and connect and automate and make us behave like one entity, etc. Right? So, but investment in technology is not ad hoc. It's not something we say, okay guys, let's go and buy an ERP system. Properly, if you want to do it properly, you have an IT strategy, which will be for 3 to 5 years. And with IT, with technology, we cannot have it more than 5 years, because technology keeps changing rapidly. So what you have is a strategy which will end up showing you 2 plans. A 3-year plan, they call it long-term plan. 3 years is long-term. 3-year plan, or 3 to 5 year plan, say year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. It will identify in each year what technology components you need to invest in, right? Now this statement says, one way to define technology strategy is by seeing it as the link between the products and services an organization brings to market and the underpinning technologies of the products and services. What this says is strategy links between what you are doing in terms of production of services and products and services, yeah, and what technologies can it happen is needed for that. So I would say, if I'm producing this, what machines or technologies are needed to produce this, right? If I wanted to produce something else, then I might be looking for another, or provide new services, new product. I might look for other technology products or services. Managers throughout an organization have an obligation. It is an obligation, you guys, if you are managers, to ensure that, to be aware of the technology changes and the demand, what technologies are appearing and what technology trends there are. Because if you don't do that, your competitor will pick up, a new technology there which will improve my productivity. So they pick it up and implement it, and you're not aware. You're operation manager, you're not technology manager. So these guys will be ahead of you. Okay? Important to also look at something called outsourcing or insourcing. Outsourcing is where you certain activities or functions within your organization, you say we're too busy, our main core functions, we're good at it, but we're not very good at IT support. Yeah? So why should I have an IT division? I outsource it. So I get somebody, a third party who's very good at it to give me the service. Right? Or purchasing. Or warehousing. In the United States, it's a trend. Warehousing is almost always outsourced. Luckily, we learned from the West about outsourcing, and that it is important, because outsourcing and insourcing is about putting all your efforts where you are good at, and get somebody else who is good at something to provide you, the service of what you're not good at. So we learned the word outsourcing in the Arab world, but we ended up outsourcing everything. You shouldn't be outsourcing your core functions. There's a big risk. We were talking about risks with Alliance. If you are outsourcing the production itself, but you're in the business of production. You don't outsource the heart of your business, the core of your business. Maybe you can outsource the things on the peripheral, on the side, things supporting functions. Go back to the value chain. So you don't target any of the core activities or functions. This is all in-source. You need the right competencies, the right people, the right machinery there. But with other ones, you can say maybe you can outsource it. ERP systems. Already talked to you about ERP systems. Many ERP systems. ERP system means enterprise resource planning. It connects the enterprise from, all the different parts within the enterprise. The human resources, financials, marketing, sales and distribution, project management, risk management, general services, all the different business functions, departments, divisions in your organization will be connected together. And their processes will be automated. It means this will be taken place so fast through something called workflow or workflow engines. ERP comes with a workflow engine connecting all the parties, in the process. So what takes a week manually will take minutes. Imagine how much this translates into Kuwait dinar. Okay, so ERP systems can be used for our operation management. To connect us to all these parties which we've been talking about. It will connect us to the finance, to the human resources, so we can behave like one team. Technology services, also technology is relevant to services. So it has a profound effect on how services are managed. You look at what medicine, its impact on medicine. Now hospitals have their information systems, doctors, they have record management of, records of patients, which can be exchanged across different hospitals and things. Telecommunications, all automated and technically, implemented. Retail business, education, banking, airline, everything is technology nowadays. Now we go from ERP to the new challenge. ERP was a breakthrough in the 90s, the mid-90s. Now, internet and e-business came as another major breakthrough, which has changed the world. The way we behave, the way we socialize, the way we shop, the way we do business. So, internet and e-business has redefined the way we do things. In terms of business, I know Abu Dhabi, if I want to rent a showroom, I want to start a new business, I want to rent a showroom, I'll probably need to pay 250,000 dirhams a year. And this is very, very, very expensive for a small showroom, for somebody, just starting a business. So the cost there will be very high. When this cost goes into the break-even, then my products will be very, very high in price. Yeah, to justify it. So e-business comes to solve this problem, where you cannot afford to have physical store rooms, physical showrooms, physical business, then you can't do it online. The equivalent of showroom will be your beautiful portal or website. You can beautify it and multimedia and colorful and start selling things, trading. So the equivalent of everything, I was teaching e-business and e-commerce at Abu Dhabi University 5 years ago. So anybody who has a good idea, yeah, go for it. You need only in your house to have a powerful computer with a good, powerful network, and then, to make agreements with suppliers, for the product which you will be trading with, and you implement a software for order fulfillment, and then you're in business. You can use social networking, social media for marketing, and orders will come to you, and this is what Souk.com do. This is what Groupon and Coupon and all these different guys do. Right? Many success stories, but also there are many failure stories. So when you want to do your e-business or e-commerce, obviously you have to understand the risks and all these things. In 1999, the whole world was hoping, many people were optimistic that e-business will boom, yeah? But in 1999, all of a sudden, hundreds of companies overnight disappeared. It's called the bubble burst of the dot-coms. So if you go to the internet and Google this, dot-coms bubble burst, you will see that hundreds of companies which were promising to become something big, disappeared in no time. Because they haven't done their business planning properly and other reasons. And also because we need technology to support our product life cycle. Any product has a life cycle which includes development, introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. New products provide growth opportunities, so from time to time, you find that Apple will produce new products, Samsung, even the water, they will change in look, Pepsi or Coca-Cola or whatever, you'll see they have different design, different small and different sizes. They have different products. This is to contribute to, keep sustaining your competitive advantage and to keep appealing to the tastes of the customers. Increasingly, there is a challenge to introduce new products more quickly without sacrificing. So now, what technology comes handy, because you need to produce products quickly, especially technology products like laptop. If your mobile phone, how often do you change your mobile phone? Every year. I hear the same answer somewhere else. Now I asked this same question somewhere in other places. Somebody said every year. Somebody said whenever a new release, a new one is released. So yes, the life cycle of our products are very short. So effectively, manufacturers are under pressure to produce new products and services all the time. To do this, technology can help us because we have something called CAD and something called CAM to help us to design new products and services. CAD is computer-aided design, and CAM is computer-aided machinery. New services, a service can be seen as a process, a method of doing things. Technology can be used to change the way that, I'll give you an example how technology can change the way we do provide services. I think one of you mentioned something similar. In some of the cafes in Abu Dhabi, you go there and the waiter will come to you with tablets, yeah, where they have the menu, and you will be asking, and he's just ticking with his stylus, And then it say enter, and this will, through the Wi-Fi, it will go to the kitchen, to the chef, who will then start preparing the meal. Yeah? So this is one way of using technology to support service, right? Okay, it makes it more accurate. It doesn't have to go and come back to take this piece of paper and that. Also, it's more accurate because it doesn't have to be funny handwriting, which could not be read properly by the people in the kitchen, or maybe the paper would have been wetted because it's been placed, near liquids or whatever. So, an electronically sent transaction through Wi-Fi. And maybe he will have an indication when it is ready, a feedback, then it will be different. So there are many ways, and this is called business models. the people like that created Facebook, Google, or YouTube, or this thing, just people with open minds, imagination, and they produced a business model, which was very difficult to accept initially, but now it becomes standard. If you come with a very, very interesting idea, and then do some analysis on it, and then you can go ahead and implement it on the net, and it might become a millionaire. Process management. The process is a series of events, activities intended to produce a certain result of customer, internal, external. So what we say here is that technology support all process management. We said core. There are core or primary activities like in the value chain, and there are supporting. You never outsource your core functions. Lean manufacturing, revisiting lean manufacturing. I think they just repeated what I said about the United States in the Second World in World War II. Doing mass production in Japan, having difficulty to imitate them, so they ended up with developing lean manufacturing, which is based on zero waste or optimizing waste or waste aversion. And this is by through what we said there will be zero waste and also utilization of resources, efficient utilization of resources. Okay, but I want to highlight to you something here. They developed a system that would allow them to produce smaller batches. This gives rise to such things as Toyota production system, TPS, and just-in-time. Just-in-time, ladies and gentlemen, was achieved by Toyota, the only and the first company. Well, it is the first company, but some others, they suggest that maybe they have achieved. Just-in-time is the ideal lean manufacturing scenario. What it does, that whatever is produced will not, that you will have zero inventory. I want you to understand this, please. So Toyota managed to use their own system for production or operation. It's called TPS, Toyota Production System. And this has led them to achieve one of the most important achievements ever in the operations. It's called JIT, or just-in-time, JIT. Just-in-time says, what you do using technology and other systems like TPS, you manage actually to produce out of the production line exactly what has been ordered. Meaning that you don't need to stock, or you don't need any stores. So Toyota cars will not be stored. They come out of the production line to trucks, to be loaded on trucks, to be sent to those who ordered them in different countries. Okay? What this means or translates to is huge savings in, because in Japan specifically, land is very costly. Yeah? It's a very small country, so it's more expensive than Abu Dhabi, to use a space for warehousing cars or things. So these guys, they had zero store, zero inventory and no stores. Okay? Many organizations try to imitate this, to replicate this, and they fail. What we do in operation management is try all the time to make an adjustment in our input of raw material as more sales orders are coming to us. You understand? Because initially, the raw material which goes into the production line will be based on, on the orders or demand forecasting, which is an example question. Let me push so we can get. Nissan also did a good example for lean manufacturing in the UK. Raw material, I'm talking about stores for cars. Just in time delivery of finished products. No, this is called inbound logistics. But it's all managed effectively. This is why you manage to achieve it. Now you need to have a very smart system to help you to make adjustments at all different stages of the production to ensure that you have the achieved. So you don't have more or less than what is required. Okay? Nissan also did a good success story in the UK when they have opened their production market. So basically it was characterized by flexibility, quality, and teamwork. Business process engineering, is, as I said, it is one of the approaches in manufacturing where you are basically replacing the old and traditional ways of practices and processes by new without. So basically you skip whatever been done before and replace it by something else completely different. With ERP systems, actually we have a lot of business process engineering, and this is what adds value to the organizations. So if anybody has SAP in your organization?
Yeah.
Oracle,
Yes.
PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Great Plains, Microsoft Dynamics. Very good. Okay, good. You'll find that when you implement any of the ERP systems, it's part of the methodology for implementation that you go through the business process investigation. And this will be prior to actually implementing the system. And usually you will be prompted to take decisions about whether to keep your old processes and customize the ERP, or to throw away your old systems, old processes, and business process re-engineer them by adopting the ERP system processes. Okay? If you adopt the ERP processes as best practices, you will end up with a major change management, because end users will resist. They are used to do things in a certain way, and then you come and say, no, this is your ERP, use it now. And people start to panic and resist. If you go to the other scenario and insist that the ERP should be changed to match your requirements and your processes, then this will be subject for another dangerous thing called customization. And the customization of an ERP is a recipe for major problems later on, especially specifically during the upgrade. So in reality, most of them, they meet halfway, in the middle. They customize some, the ones with the processes which are very important and end users will not give up, and they will accept the re-engineering of other processes which are less important. So break-even analysis, I created this slide for you. It's not in your syllabus. And now it seems I have to start to move.
ايه مو يلا على نانسي.
Do you want to see break-even analysis and go, or do you want to go to lunch? Maybe we can just start. And then we'll come and revisit this, because this is an exam question for sure. This one. Yes. Not this, the concept.
Start.
Yeah.
يلا يلا يلا.
Except we start and then what's the time now?
2 بس لا خلص ركز راح